Hello and welcome to the Motorway Man, and welcome back to part 2 of a 4-part series where I'll be exploring service station signage. In part 1 we looked at approach service station signage, so be sure to check that video out if you haven't already. In part 2 we looked at internal service station signage, which is the part we're on today. In part 3 we'll be looking at A-road service station signage, and in part 4 we'll be looking at more rare and older signs that we don't see that often. So let's get into the video. Now last time, you may remember, we finished up with something like this, and this sign's basically saying, right now you need to come off the main carriageway as this is your service station. So once you're off the main carriageway then, what sort of signs will you encounter? Well, you see, between the years of 1959 and 1992, all the service station signs were provided as standard, and looks like this one. Now, as you can see, it says all the basic traffic information like lorries, coaches and fuel go straight ahead. For the first 2 exits, you can't go that way as there's a stop sign, and cars and the lodge, you're going to take the third right. Now, that's basically what that sign says. But since the privatisation of service stations in the 1990s and in the 2000s, operators have put their own spin on the older signs, and we'll be looking at 4 of the major operators today. Now, up first of their offering of a sign is Motor. Now, Motor was sort of the founders of the new funky sign idea, and this one looks very nice. And not only is it nice colours with the vibrant green and the white and the nice smile branding, it also makes it quite clear saying cars take lane 1, and for fuel, caravans and coaches and heavy goods vehicles you need to be in lane 2. And it says quite clearly get in lane, so I'm quite a fan of that sign. It's quite easy to read and everything like that. Now, who's next? We've got Welcome Break next with their offering, and I've got to admit, although the font's quite big and bold, the arrows are really small. Like if you were just driving past trying to read the sign, like that's really small arrows. Let's see what else I can find. I'll pop another image on screen. Now again with this one, massive like fonts and things with toilets to the left, but those arrows are just too small. And in fact, because Welcome Break got so much criticism for the signs, they even introduced this one on like a wooden background, and that's at some park services to make it seem more interesting like Moto's sign. But people actually complain that that sign was too distracting. It just seems like Welcome Break haven't mastered the art of signage. Now this one's a sign by Road Chef. I'm a big fan of the big arrows, makes it nice and easy to see where you're going. I'll pop another example of a Road Chef sign on screen now. And again, as we can see from the picture on screen, nice big arrows, easy to say get in lane, which is nice and easy, really easy to read, and that's what you need when you're driving past. Next operator up is Extra, and they tend to go for a more professional service station signage look. As we can see here, this is probably what a proper sign would look like, but with Extra, you tend to go a little bit too professional sometimes, if you know what I mean, as we can see from the crazy sign I'm about to put on screen now. Like this, if you're not an enthusiast like me or a professional navigator like I am, like this sign probably makes no sense to you, and you probably think, what the? And this is actually going a bit too extreme with the professional, professional navigator level sort of signage. So I think even for like a normal person, that's probably quite difficult to interpret. So Extra, I'm sorry, and Welcome Break, I'm sorry, you haven't mastered the art of signage yet. But Road Chef and Motor, I can guarantee you're in safe hands, and you will know where you're going when travelling through those service stations. So anyway, that'll do it for today. Thanks for tuning in. I do appreciate your time. Be sure to watch part 3 and 4 when they come out. Watch part 1 if you haven't already, of course. Subscribe to the channel. Give me a thumbs up. I hope you enjoyed. Come again, and goodbye.